5 days until the election, national polls and polls in key swing states show a very, very tight race. Here to discuss, Academy Award-winning director Michael Moore, whose new film is Michael Moore in Trumpland. Thank you very much. You were here on October 25th, right? That was just a week and 2 days ago. It is a completely different race now when we spoke then.
That's correct. Well, I live in Michigan, and so I know why she's going there tomorrow. She wasn't supposed to have needed to go there. But I think this has always been a lot closer than I think the Trump vote has probably been undercounted in these polls. Again, in Michigan, in our primary in March, Hillary was ahead of Bernie by 8 to 22 points on the morning of the primary. All the national polls, and 12 hours later, Bernie defeated her. So I don't think you can, these polls, nobody should be sitting back, regardless who you're for. I mean, this is going to be close. Seems like it's going to be close.
I agree.
And in Michigan, it really feels like it's going to be close.
You know, I have said I think that one will win the popular vote and the other one possibly win the electoral vote, and then it's, you know, the country's going to be even more divided. Oh, God. But, yeah.
Well, geez. You think that's possible?
I do. I think it's possible. I have to ask you about this Comey letter that, you know, came out on Friday. What was your reaction when the news broke? Awful. Not because nobody was going to switch from Hillary to Trump, but I knew that this would depress the Hillary vote. That not all the vote, but even if it depressed 10% of it, depressed meaning people are still going to vote for Hillary, but they're not going to be as excited as they need to be this week. They're not going to work for her. They're not going to make calls. And they're not going to take 5 people to the polls with them on election day. They're just going to show up and vote for her. That's not enough. Everybody's got to do a lot more than that in these next 5 days if we're going to pull this off. Everybody's got to have their A game going. People need to take off work if they can on Monday and Tuesday, not go to school. You sign up online. There's all these places where you can, Democracy for America, Move On, whatever. You can sign up and make calls to swing states from your own phone. You don't need to go there. If you can go there, go there. If you live near a swing state, go there this weekend. Don't let it be said a few weeks from now, and after it's gone the wrong way, geez, I wish I would have done something. Yeah, well, it's too late then. I saw something, and when I saw it, it caught my attention, and I didn't think anything of it until 2 days later. And this was 2 days before the Comey announcement. This was Fox News Wednesday morning. This is Rudy Giuliani. Watch this.
And I think he's got a surprise or two that you're going to hear about in the next 2 days. Right. I mean, I'm talking about some pretty big surprise.
Oh yeah, I heard you say that this morning. What do you mean?
You'll see.
Stay tuned. Rudy Giuliani, you're lucky because we got to go. I'm out of time. Otherwise, I keep pressing you.
We're not going to go down, and we're certainly not going to stop fighting. We've got a couple things up our sleeve that should turn this around in a way that even the liberal pollsters will get to see it.
So that was from 2 days before the letter. Wow. Do you think that he could have known about in advance through his extensive?
Well, it sure sounds like he knew something. You know, I mean, this man is a former federal prosecutor, worked for the Justice Department. That if somebody slipped him some information there, I mean, that is amazing. See, the thing is with the Democrats, after Comey exonerated her in the summer, everybody said, "Oh, he's the greatest FBI director ever," and it's like, no, I wouldn't go so fast on that, because he also was involved in other investigations of Bill Clinton, of the, you know, he isn't new to this Clinton game. And I think somebody should be raising questions about him and why this happened and why he did it on Friday night. And it's got everybody in this sort of tornado about the emails. What about the emails, really? I mean, truly, really, we have huge issues facing the country. If you're gonna put a sociopath in the White House because, you didn't like how she did her emails, this is something seriously wrong.
I have to say that I had a former U.S. attorney on my show the other night. I think it was 2 nights ago, maybe 3 nights ago. He said that he believes that James Comey is releasing this letter. In releasing this letter, he was influenced by Rudy Giuliani, who was his former boss, and that he may have been influenced by the criticism of Rudy Giuliani and other Republicans. Do you think that in some way he may be covering his you-know-what?
I have to tell you, I had not seen that Giuliani piece before. I don't know if anybody's run it. Has anybody run it on CNN?
I'm sure. I know about this show. I'm not sure if it is run on the network. I have not seen it on the network.
Who's ever watching the show right now, you just introduced something that needs to be investigated. Somebody has to answer for what we just saw, that you just showed us, the American people, because that was frightening. Yeah. That Giuliani
in all of his craziness, he looked like so self-assured that he knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, people ask me, they'll come into my office or into my home and they'll say, why are you watching Fox News? I watch everything. I watch Fox News, I watch MSNBC, I watch CNN, I watch ABC, NBC. I watch everything because, I want to know. I watch Bloomberg. And it's because, most people will get their news from just one source. And I think that limits you. And so I saw that. I happened to see that when it aired live. And then I thought about it,
I've never understood why liberals don't watch Fox News because you should always know what the opposition is up to.
So listen, given that, the 28 WikiLeaks dumps from John Podesta emails last week in the FBI news, if Secretary Clinton is elected on Tuesday, she's going to be under a big cloud, don't you think? Because you don't think?
No, I think she's going to be dragged through the fire.
Will it impact her ability to govern if she is elected?
No, I don't think so. I think, no, because I got to tell you, and this with no criticism meant toward President Obama, but he came in his first 2 years, he was very kumbaya, he wanted to get along, he started compromising before he even had to compromise. And if you'd read his books, you knew that that's the kind of guy he is.
Right.
She's not that person. And I think she's going to put her boots on and go up to Capitol Hill and say, now we've got to get some work done here. I'm not here to sing kumbaya. And I think the people watching the show, I think the American people have got to commit right now to whatever they're going to put her through. We've got to stand up for her. We can't leave her by herself like we did in the 90s when she tried to get us health care, and we let that happen to her where she was decimated. What did we do? What did any of us do? This can't happen this time. But people, I'm so worried. People should not stay home and not vote for her because it's like, oh, I don't want to go through email scandal investigation. Oh, you don't want to go through that? So you want to go through what Donald Trump's going to take you through. That's what you're saying? Are you kidding me? Let's knock it off. Everybody grow up. We've been brought down by Trump into his 12-year-old narcissism. He has been able to drive the engine of this election. He's certainly driven the ratings. Those debates never would have had those ratings without Donald Trump. And it's like there's a certain amount of the population that likes watching the train wreck. And I don't want to watch the train wreck. I don't want to see what's going to happen. And I think people, damn it, we live in a liberal country, Don. Let's just say it. People may not call themselves liberals, but the vast majority of Americans, you go down any of the issues in the polls, the majority of Americans believe women should be paid the same as men. The majority of Americans believe the polar ice caps are melting. The majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to choose. You go down the issues, the majority of Americans are liberal. That we would end up with a president and a Congress that doesn't represent the majority feeling in this country, that's a crime in a democracy. We cannot allow that crime to take place. I'm sorry to be so emotional about it, but I'm...
Well, we'll have you here to hear your voice.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for giving me that voice, and this shall not pass.
All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming on. Michael Moore, everyone. And make sure you stay with CNN for all-day coverage on Election Day. That is Tuesday. And up next, Donald Trump